The Biden administration has suggested a spending plan formulated by House Republicans could turn out to be a boon for drug cartels. News.com has learned the GOP-proposed spending plan, known as a continuing resolution, would drastically slash non-defense and non-veteran discretionary spending. Congress has until September 30 to pass a temporary spending bill to fund the federal government. Without funding, parts of the government will shut down on the first day of the fiscal new year on October 1. Some Republicans in the U.S. House of Representatives are holding out over budget line items and are demanding more money for border control. But without a continuing resolution, federal personnel at the border will be forced to work without pay until the issue is resolved. They are holding government funding hostage unless they can jam through a bill that eliminates at least 800 Border Patrol agents and triggers a windfall for drug cartels. Up to 4 million workers could lose pay in the event of a shutdown. Roughly half are military troops and personnel, ABC News reports. They are holding government funding hostage unless they can jam through a bill that eliminates at least 800 Border Patrol agents and triggers a windfall for drug cartels, White House Deputy Press Secretary Andrew Bates said in a memo obtained by Fox News and the New York Post. Senate Republican Minority Leader Mitch McConnell warned on Wednesday, September 27, a vote against a standard short-term funding measure is a vote against paying over $1 billion in salary for Border Patrol and ICE agents working to track down lethal fentanyl and tame our open borders. President Joe Biden and Speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives Kevin McCarthy agreed to a deal in the summer on government spending levels, but several Republican members of Congress are demanding new measures. The GOP's current continuing resolution, CR, proposal, which would cut government spending by about 8% from this year's enacted funding levels for 30 days, has been labeled a non-starter in the Democratic majority Senate. For spending bills proposed, out of 12 needed, by Republican leadership would feature provisions from the Secure the Border Act of 2023. Those provisions include money to construct former President Donald Trump's wall along the U.S.-Mexico border and hire thousands of new Border Patrol agents, according to the New York Post. Biden recently called for $4 billion in his supplemental funding request to address the immediate needs of the Department of Homeland Security to safely and humanely manage the southwest border. There were more than 2.86 million migrant encounters recorded on the southern border so far this fiscal year alone, according to U.S. Customs and Border Protection. Bates noted the aftermath of the last partial government shutdown, which resulted in Border Patrol agents working without pay and the cancellation of federal immigration proceedings and thousands of hearings. Republicans are proposing an extreme continuing resolution that would eliminate 800 CBP agents and officers, allowing 50,000 pounds of cocaine, more than 300 pounds of fentanyl, more than 700 pounds of heroin, and more than 6,000 pounds of methamphetamine to enter our country, Bates said, according to the memo obtained by Fox News. A bipartisan CR put forward by the Senate Tuesday night, September 26, would keep the government open through November 17 while also allocating more than $6 billion in aid to Ukraine and $6 billion in domestic disaster relief, per the New York Post. Bates urged Congress to pass it. But McCarthy has outright refused the prospect of taking that measure up for a vote in the House, saying, "I don't see the support for it." McCarthy told reporters on Tuesday, "I think it'd be very important to have a meeting with the president. The president could keep the government open by doing something on the border."